Well, now for the news in detail, the local news first. President Rajapaksa pointing out that he cannot leave room for the revival of terror and separatism, emphasized that the return of an era in which the youth took to arms will not be permitted.
දැන් ත්‍රස්තවාදයක් නැහැ. මෙරටේ බෙදුම් වාදයක් නැහැ. නැවත වාරයක්.
The president pointed out that there is no terrorism or separatism in the country. No one will also be permitted to reintroduce terrorism or a fierce psychosis period. What the people need today is development required for the next decade and not differences. He said all facilities for the children to pursue their studies should be provided. Also, the children should be sent to schools to further their studies. Education is vital for the children to compete with their counterparts in the world. The president reiterated no one can be permitted to destabilize the country or break it into pieces through secret agreements. The Mahinda Chintana extended version has now been presented. He pledged to implement this vision to the letter after the 27th of this month.
මේ වැඩපිළිවෙල ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න 100% ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ඔබ
The president was addressing a massive gathering at the Leela Ratna grounds in Kantale. Further in his address, he said that the opposition was engaged in an untiring effort to embarrass the government through false campaigns. He pledged his dedication to realize all expectations of the civilians through the Mahinda Chintana extended version. Referring to false propaganda on lands in the Kantale area, the president emphasized that the program of granting ownership of every land in the area to the residents will be speeded up. Several key supporters of the UNP, including a former parliamentarian HKDS Leela Ratna, expressed their support to the president.
Information is bad of an attempt made to make an announcement through Tamil National Alliance parliamentarian R. Sambandhan that there is no agreement entered into with opposition candidate Sarath Fonseca. Giving views to the media on this matter, Minister Susil Premajand said Mr. Sambandhan is to join Sarath Fonseca on stage in his campaign today. The president rejected the conditions put forward by the TNA. Thereafter, they submitted the same conditions to Sarath Fonseca. Mr. Sambandhan's stand was that there was a positive response from the opposition candidate. This was reported in the newspapers. As such, there was an agreement in this respect. He is to announce in Batiklo that they had not entered into any such agreement. There is also information that they plan to stress the need to use a bulletproof vehicle, claiming there is a threat from the LTE. 1.5 weeks had passed since the revelation of this matter, and at this last moment, a weak effort is being made to deny the fact. Also, Mr. Sambandhan was to make a claim that there is a threat from the LTE. The minister said the outfit had been routed. This clearly indicates that it is a false and unfounded statement. The minister said that such a statement was to be made at the demand of the opposition. Newspapers circulating in Jaffna had referred that the TNA agreed to support Sarath Fonseca as he had acceded to their demands. Meanwhile, more information has come to light on Sarath Fonseca's efforts to win public sympathy through such an effort. Opposition thugs including Sarath Fonseca and the Janata Vimukti Peramuna take away another life. Minister Jayaratna Herath described the incident as an unsuccessful attempt of Sarath Fonseca after being demented by the defeat that he will suffer. He said it is no secret that the JVP is totally behind this murder. Not only strongly deploring this incident, the minister said that the people should consider twice of such a candidate who is thinking of assuming power. The attack on the party office of the minister located in the premises of his residence was carried out last night. With the destruction of the office, a 2-year-old child and a beloved wife lost their husband. He was Suranga Indrajith, the 28-year-old driver of Minister Herath. Opposition thugs including Sarath Fonseca have begun to unleash violence that Prabhakaran did. However, it has been emphasized that such brutal attacks will not succeed in silencing the majority and reversing the step taken forward for a bright future of the country. Well, you're watching Prime News, and still on the local segment, the present Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa had explicitly and efficiently provided fighter jets to the Air Force at a time when it was difficult to secure them. Director Engineer of the Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Jayanath Kumarasiri, made this revelation when the case filed against the Sunday Leader newspaper was taken up today. Attorney at Law Ali Sabri said the engineer gave evidence when the case filed against the Sunday Leader by Defence Secretary was taken up for hearing today. He clarified that until the present Defence Secretary assumed office in 2005, the condition of the fighter jets in the Air Force was in a pathetic state and not a single available fighter jet was usable. He further said that Air Force chiefs on various occasions had informed the former Defence Secretaries about the impossibility of launching operations. But nothing came right until Gotabaya Rajapaksa took over in office. As a plaintiff of the case, the Defence Secretary took the initiative to repair 3 MiG fighter jets after discussion with Ukraine and without any involvement of middlemen. He pointed out that these fighter jets played a pivotal role in killing LTE political wing leader Thamil Shelvam. He emphasized that no irregularities took place in the purchase of these MiG fighter jets. He gave this evidence submitting the necessary documents. The attorney said that accordingly the case against the Sunday Leader will continue, as the article published by the newspaper had defamed the Defence Secretary. Mr. Sabri observed that this is the first time in Sri Lanka's history that a case is being continued despite the acceptance of guiltiness by the defence. The central bank has decided to maintain the policy interest rates at their existing levels as the domestic economy is expected to pick up in 2010.
Sri Lanka's annual average inflation rate declined to a record 6-year low of 3.4% in December 2009 from 4.1% in the previous month. The rate of inflation on a year-on-year basis increased to 4.8% for December from 2.8% in November as consumer spending in the country increased. The central bank expects the inflation to be in single digits by the end of 2010 as the projections of inflation for 2010 are only minor. The market interest rates have declined in response to the relaxed monetary policy measures taken by the central bank last year. As a result, the central bank said credit to the private sector, which contracted continuously during the period from January to October 2009, indicated a positive turnaround in nominal terms in November. The bank expects this development to be further strengthened along with activity in the domestic economy picking up in the year.
Employees of the private sector will also receive a salary hike. It will be effective in parallel to the 2,500 rupees granted to the state sector.
The Commissioner General for Labour has been ordered to implement in the all wages boards of the private sector this salary increase with immediate effect. The special directive has been issued by Minister Atau the Seneviratna. It is emphasized that the salary increase should be implemented in the case of all workers of the factories under the purview of the Board of Investment as well. Further, the 405 rupees salary increase per day referred to in the collective agreement entered into between the trade unions in the tea, rubber and plantation sectors and the Ceylon Employers Federation has been ordered to be implemented in the case of workers of all other estates with effect from the 15th of this month, since the Gazette notification has already been issued.
We now give you the foreign exchange rates for today.